Seeing black smoke pouring out of your exhaust and feeling like your turbocharger just quit on you is a terrible feeling, especially if you rely on your truck for work. If you were driving a modern diesel, particularly something like a Ford Powerstroke, and you see code P006B, do not panic, but do not ignore it either. This is what we call a correlation code. It basically means your engine computer is confused because two of its main pressure sensors are telling it conflicting stories. The computer is constantly comparing the map sensor, which measures the air pressure going into the intake, and the exhaust pressure sensor, which measures the back pressure leaving the engine. Under normal conditions, these two should agree with each other, based on a specific mathematical formula programmed into the computer. When they drift too far apart, the computer thinks something is wrong with the flow and throws this code to protect the engine. Since this usually happens on diesels, soot and carbon buildup are your biggest enemies here. Before you replace any sensors, locate the exhaust pressure sensor and check the small tube connecting it to the exhaust pipe. These tubes get clogged with carbon and soot constantly. If that tube is blocked, the sensor cannot read the pressure correctly, no matter how new it is. Take it off and clean it out with some carb cleaner or a piece of wire. If the tube is clear, look at the wiring. These sensors are often located right next to the hottest parts of the engine and the turbo, and I see melted wires all the time. You need to check for 5 volts at the connector with a multimeter. Connect your positive lead to the reference wire and the negative to the ground. If you have voltage and the ground is good, but the readings are still off on your scanner, then one of the sensors has likely failed. Usually, it is the exhaust pressure sensor because it lives a much harder life than the intake sensor due to the heat and soot. A simple cleaning of the tube or a quick multimeter check can save you from buying expensive sensors you do not actually need. Always start with the physical inspection of that tube. It is the most common culprit.